What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Tall podcast, but we here for something different. Battle Birds podcast. All three Battle Birds in the building. Last week we didn't have Fresh, but we 4-0, and we are in Arizona, ready to take on the Cardinals. Hurts versus Murray. How y'all feeling, guys?
Okay.
Good, man. Good. Hey, the division's a lot better than people thought. I mean, the Giants just took down the Packers. Of course, that's in London, but they got to win, bro. So I mean, the NFC East is a lot better division what people were thinking coming into this, and we undefeated, and I think we're going to stay that way today, Mike.
You're that man. You know what it is. You know what it is. Your boy Philly Fresh, aka the General. Yeah, but kind of what Steve said. I mean, I ain't seen y'all. Shout out to all of y'all in the chat. I ain't seen y'all in a couple weeks. You know, when they do the post game, late couple games or whatever, and I was at a game. But so I ain't talked to y'all in a while. But yes, the Eagles are 4-0. Look dominant. The Eagles look like the best. Not just the division. They look like the best team in football. When any other team is the only unbeaten team, everybody says they're the best team in football. But for some reason, because of the Philadelphia Eagles, we're second, we're third. You got to look at Kansas City. You got to look at that. But if Kansas City was 4-0, y'all would still have them number one. So what's the problem? And I'm not trying to hear competition. Not trying to hear. We're gonna talk about that. But that's just that's my thoughts right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, years past, the team that was 4-0 at this point, they'd be like they're 4-0 for a reason. And again, when I look at the schedule, talk what you want about the Lions, the Vikings, the Jags. Two of them teams are division leaders at this moment, so they're holding their stuff down. Again, the Packers are. Who are they at this point, right? They lost to the Vikings, now they lost to the Giants. Does that win credit the Giants any more than our 4-0 start or anything like that? I don't believe so. But sticking with the Arizona Cardinals, my biggest thing is still, and I think we have to watch, we haven't played a quarterback that is as elusive as Kyler Murray. Now, credit, our defense got to go against Jalen Hurts during practice, but there's something different about the way Kyler Murray runs. How do you feel about that, Gate?
I mean, yeah, he does pose a different challenge than we have faced so far in quarterbacks. I mean, Trevor Lawrence can get out of the pocket. He can move a little bit. I thought that some of the people I was interacting with, I thought that they slept on his ability to do that a little bit. I was like, nah, he's a little more athletic than a lot of people give him credit for. I remember him from his time at Clemson. But the strange thing about Kyler Murray, who's clearly the best athlete we've played yet, he's not really running the ball. I think he's got like 4 scrambles on the season. It's not really high. And to be honest, Mike, he went from being a really good quarterback through the first 12 weeks or so of last season. I mean, we're talking top 5 status through that period of time. He's fallen off, man. I mean, when you look at the advanced analytics, they got a clear lack of weapons going with that football team. I mean, he went from being I'm using PFF, guys, and this is subjective when you use grading, but it's the only way of doing this from a non-partial way. It's not me. It's a group of panelists doing it. But he was rated the number 5 passer last season. He's currently the 19th rated guy at a 64.5. Football Outsiders give you a different viewpoint of him. Like Football Outsiders, DVOA. So this is accounting for how good the defenses are. So they're going to weight this. Last season, he was a 7th rated guy at a 15.6 DVOA versus that type of defense. This year, he's 20th with negative 8.7%. These are big differences, man. Then when they just do VOA, so take away weighting how good the defense is and just over average period, how your performance is over the average. Last season, he was 8th. This year, he's 20th, negative 4.9%. Like, he's going down, man. You look at his third down production and versus pressure. It's not good. To begin with, versus pressure, dude, he's 11 of 37, under 30% completion rate. There's only 4 dudes that are under 30% completion rate. That's Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, and Kyler Murray.
Wow.
84 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions, no big-time throws, and 5 turnover-worthy passes. He has been bad versus pressure, and I don't think it's just because of Kyler Murray. I think the weapons around him are not good, if I'm being honest. Like, right now, Marquise Hollywood-Brown's a really good piece. He's a good player. I'm not sleeping on that young man. That's not a size-protected, third-down, grinded-out type of receiver. That's not what he is. The guy that they had that can play that role is A.J. Green. He's up there in age. I mean, he's not he's not the same player he was 5-6 years ago. Like, there's a problem. It goes Marquise Hollywood Brown, Zach Ertz, AJ Green, and then their running backs, and that's pretty much their offense. And it's Rondell Moore's been in and out of the lineup with injuries. Doesn't look like I'm not too sure if he's going to be a go this week or not. And then on top of that, Mike, you look at Greg Dortch, who I know Greg Dortch really well. He played out here at Wake Forest, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I mean, literally where I was coaching and teaching at. Good player, but he's a slot dude. He's a Greg Ward Jr.
Yeah, you made some great points. And just watching a little bit of Murray, I don't believe he's, like I said, I'm more worried about his legs, converting 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 7s. I'm not really scared about him passing. And just let the chat know, Slay is back. He was a full participant Friday. Jordan Mailata and Avonte Maddox still ruled out. But yeah, man, I think when it comes to stopping them, it's being in your lanes, making them stay in the pocket and try to beat you. Zach Ertz is their chain mover, but I mean, he's getting up there in age as well. So I think until Hopkins comes back, he got no one to really rely on, and we got to take advantage of it. Pressure. Gate just told you his numbers while being pressured are pedestrian at best. He's rated in the upper 20s in every category. So we got to continue the pressure we've been providing. What is it, like 26% blitz rate? Hey, JG's been doing his thing. I ain't mad at him at all.
Yeah, it's crazy, Mike, because like he's a good player. Like Kyler Murray is a good player, and you're right. Like it's like we're in this situation where he hasn't done it this season, and it's like I really hope that he waits one more week to figure out that maybe he's going to have to start scrambling to save this offense. Like one more week, figure that out, Kyler. You need one more week. Try to operate from the pocket. Just do your thing, man. Give it one more week, bro. Because I got the same feeling, man. Is that as bad as their offense has been, their defense has been outstanding. This is a very, very good defense we're matching up against. And you're right, Mike. If they can just play a defensive game and keep it close, now you are worried about Kyler Murray breaking you down off the ball. And it's like, all right, come on, man. Like one more week. Don't even worry about trying to scramble. Stay in that pocket. Go through your reads. You heard what they told us about Jalen Hurts. You can't scramble and be a quarterback. So stay in the pocket.
How you feel, Fresh?
When I look at it, the Kyler Murray only got like 91 rushing yards on the year. I think ever since he had that, what was it, a shoulder injury, he ain't been the same. Like since that shoulder injury, he's not been the same. And some of that was with D-Hop on the field. Now you take him away, and he's looking like a below average quarterback. Not saying that he can't have a good game. Not saying that he can turn the light on. And like Gate said, hopefully he don't figure that out until after this week. You know what I mean? But when you look at it going into the situation, we have the better quarterback right now, and to me, it's not even close. Like it's not even close. The way that these two are playing is clearly a seesaw. I go now, you go up, and Jalen Hurts is at the top of that seesaw right now. So, to me, the defense does have a challenge on their hands, and I get it, Gates. Yes, that defense, Buda Baker and them dudes, they be balling, but they got a bigger challenge than our defense has. And when you look at guys like Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, these guys that are fast and can get after the quarterback, I don't see too many of – we basically got the better talent is what I'm saying.
Oh.
And to me, yes, sometimes you got days off, yada, 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 and I'm so glad that Jalen Hurts, he addressed the media like, listen, y'all ain't even asked me about the Cardinals. Like, we not slacking off on these dudes. That's what leaders do. And shout out to him for that, because it could be like you come in there 4-0, you're feeling yourself, and it just could be one of those days that you just take off like, nah. And I thought about that in the Jaguars game. I'm like, dude, they just thought that they was going to roll over. But they got their shit together. They got their shit together fast. And the weather had to play a part into it, but so what? So what? They both had to play in that weather. You know what I mean? They was up 14 in that weather. So it is what it is, man. But when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles against the Cardinals, I'm just liking the Eagles basically based on talent alone. Like, we can get into schematics, we can get into other things, but when you look at the talent and the way both these teams have been playing, it's not even close to me. Like, it's not even close. This is a dub. It's a dub. If they come out and do what they're supposed to do, don't turn the ball over, get pressure on Kyler Murray, and just let Jalen Hurts be humming. Yes, last time we was on here, I said I didn't want Jalen Hurts running as much as he has been. But when he put the team on his back last game,
let him
do
it.
Him. Just let him fly, man. Let him fly. Like I don't know, man. I don't know if y'all ever seen the other guys. Mark Wahlberg was in there. He's like, I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly. Like, first of all, peacocks don't fly. But anyway, basically what I'm saying is like, if this defense does what they're supposed to, contains Kyler Murray, I mean, you just went over the weapons that they have. Their best receiver is Zach Ertz. That's the best receiver. I'm sorry, Hollywood Brown and all. I don't think Hollywood Brown is better than Zach Ertz in his decline years. I don't think he's that good. You get what I'm saying? Connor is a guy that I feel as though you can stop. The offensive line is not the greatest. I think they're in the middle of the pack, around 15, 16. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're not the best, so they can get after these guys. And a lot of people talk about, they're number 5 and stopping the rush. I could have sworn Jacksonville was number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn that. And what happened to them? Put a 200 piece on them. So I'm not really worried about being able to run the ball. Miles Sanders is in the zone right now, and I'm so proud of that kid. I'm so proud of that kid, man. I know a lot of people DM me and they comment and saying, like, I hate on the guy. No, I don't hate on him. I know the potential that he has, and he's showing it there. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. And this kid is balling out of his mind. If they stay on this coast, I don't know who's going to be able to beat us. And I'm even looking at the Green Bay game like that's a dub. Like, Green Bay, who I thought they was before I picked I picked in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I had Green Bay as a loss. That's looking like a win now. I don't know who's going to be able to beat this team if they come with their A game every game. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, I agree. Real quick, shout out to Dante Hill with the $5 super chat. He said someone didn't give TJ Edwards the Nakobe Dean memo. Someone didn't tell him he wasn't athletic. That man is ballin'. And yeah, TJ Edwards in the offseason, I talked about Nakobe Dean. He's going to be a player for the Eagles in the long term. No doubt about it. I did talk about him being not early in the season, a guy who comes in sparingly, got to find his spot. But I was talking so much about TJ Edwards in the sense of, like, people act like he was already figured out. We knew who he was. No, I try to preach that TJ Edwards is just getting to his prime. There's still more untapped potential, and I think we're seeing that early in the season as he's flying around, making moves, getting sacks, getting tackles, PBUs. I mean, he's playing the Mike linebacker at a high level. TJ Edwards deserves all the flowers, so to speak, that come to him thus far this season. But I want to talk to you real quick. Like I said, the Eagles' the Eagles' rushing game is the best in the league. Right now, I think we're third in the NFL or second, but fifth. I think we're fifth passing, I think.
Okay.
Fifth passing, I think 3 or 2 rushing. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gate, if you know. But we just ran down on Jacksonville, like you said. You got to run no matter what. But I do think there's some openings in that secondary for the Cardinals that we could take advantage. They're the 22nd ranked. Buda Baker is worrisome back there. But besides him, we could take advantage of that secondary. But the Eagles are what you call a true pick your poison type offense. Like I said in my last video, we got the 5-5-5 deal, bro. We got a running back in the top 5, a quarterback in the top 5, and a receiver. And it doesn't happen often. Every running back in the top 5, their quarterback is not in the top 5 because it's too hard to be that to do both of them successful. You're going to be better at one, and we're really just dominating defenses through the air and through the ground. How you feel about their defense stopping our run game this game, Gate?
I'll say that I see some comments here like EC1 football. I'm gonna need you to remove the football from your name, bro, because you sound like a straight homer sometimes, man. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. But when you look at a team like Jacksonville,
that's my young boy. I don't play like that, Gates. That's
bro,
my young boy.
I don't need him to, bro, because he don't know what the hell he's talking about.
That's my young boy. Leave him alone. Stall him out, Debo. That's my young boy. Don't do that. Don't do that. hey, you better chill though. You better chill. But go ahead, Gates.
But no, like when you look at a team like Jacksonville had a lighter line. Like my thing with Jacksonville was I felt like they hadn't really been pushed, hadn't really been tested. You know, you look at a team like Washington. Washington's not necessarily like the best run defense if you looked at it statistically, but they got two guys that can absolutely dominate you in the middle, and we really struggled to get push against Washington. I think this is somewhere in between, right? You got a much more stout defensive line compared to Jacksonville, but this line is not, you know, Allen and Payne. Like those two dudes are incredible run. They can get after it in the run game. Like they're really difficult to knock out of gap assignments. I think this is somewhere in that middle range, right? Like I don't think that they're overly talented, but I also don't think that they're necessarily undersized either. So it's one of those situations to where, you know, I do think the advantage is better in the secondary than it is along the line, to be honest. I also think we got to be careful because we don't even know who's going to be on our line starting today. And that's the other thing. Like we suffer some injuries on our line. Like, so we got to be a little careful with that and trying to match up like that. But I think it goes both ways, Mike, because like on one way, what you could say is like, if you've got injuries along your O line, do you really want to try to drop back and pass protect? Do you really want a situation where you get a guy like Driscoll one-on-one with a guy like J.J. Watt? Probably not. That's probably not ideal. Maybe it is better in those situations to try to get behind your line and try to run the ball. But it's, you know, it's just different, man. I don't want people going there thinking we're just going to put up 200 rushing yards on every single defense. That's difficult to do, man. I do think what you want to see is you want to see the Eagles force teams to commit extra defenders to the box.
Yeah.
You want to see the passing game go off? Watch defenses start creeping up an eighth man into the box and watch. That's when you can see like Devontae Smith take off on somebody. That's when you can see like the big plays start coming in from, you know what I'm saying, like A.J. Brown. That's what you want to do. You want to make teams commit to 8 in the box to try to shut you down.
Yeah, I agree. And then again, with all the new skill web or all the skill web positions we have, it's just going to make it much easier for Jalen and them to decipher what coverage they're doing and really beating them mano a mano. Like I said last week, though, I did look at that game, the Cardinals versus the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Panthers are nobody great, but they really, really slowed down CMC. He was held to 2.4 yards a carry. That was one of their games where their defense came out and really dominated on all levels, both stopping the run and the pass. Again, Carolina's offense is not the Philadelphia Eagles, but I think Seumalo is a guy to watch. He was limited on Friday. Who knows if he's going to start? As Gates said, the offensive line being shuffled. We know Jordan Mailata is out. How did y'all feel about Driscoll? Do you think he played sufficient against the Jaguars? Because he played the left tackle, right? It was Driscoll.
In pass sets, man, I thought he was a little rough, to be honest with you. I think he did good given. Look, I'm going to tell you this, Mike. It's really difficult to come off the bench cold in a game on the offensive line. It's really, really difficult. And
it was cold. Ask Smitty. It was cold, literally.
What you'll see is normally when you give a guy a week of preparation, he plays a lot better. But there's a massive, downgrade from plugging in Jack Driscoll to, you know what I'm saying, like having the big guy out there. Like there's a huge difference there between those two in terms of their abilities and their talent level. But Driscoll's a really good 6-man off the bench. Like he's, dude that he can almost play all 5 alignments. Like that's really difficult to find with offensive linemen, man. It's really difficult to be able to go play the left side, play the right side. The dude can snap the ball as a center if you really need him to. Like he's an idealized 6-man. He's kind of like, you remember, Big V was like that for us. It's basically, he kind of plays that role.
First of all, shout out Kenzo. I don't like saying that first name, but shout out to my guy. He been here since day one. We've been doing this for 3 years. He been day one. Like, shout out to him, man. I trust scouting. I trust scouting. I do. I think he is the best positional coach in the game, in the NFL, period. The things that he has done, the talent. I mean, we talk about being what they say, a quarterback factory. No, we're an offensive line factory. And you see how many offensive linemen leave here and get starting jobs. Shout out Big V. And I don't know, like I've been trying to see what's going on with Dillard. If he's supposed to be coming back, I heard he was coming back. Then I hear that
activated him on the 21-day window.
So hopefully the big guy comes back before then. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna trust Jack Driscoll, but you're going to have to. I thought that when you looked at the game, the first half, they tried to run on the left side and they tried to have less pass coverage on the left side, but then they switched it. You know what I mean? They gave more pass coverage and they chipped on the left side the second half and second quarter, should I say. And they ran more to the right side, more to the dominant. That's your dominant side right now. When you talk about John Hurts. Excuse me. When you talk about Lane over there and Leonard Dickinson, so that is your dominant side right there for right now. So if you are Stoutland and you are Shane Steichen, y'all got to come together and y'all got to figure out. Probably already did, obviously, but you got to figure out. Listen, our right side is our dominant side, so we're going to have to not just keep going there, but use that more to our advantage of going to the right side. And then, I mean, you got the best center in the freaking game, man. Like, when I put on tape and I look at Kelsey, the things that he does, like, he gets to the second level like it's effortless. Like, I don't see no centers in the game doing what he does. I'm sorry. I mean, there are centers that can pull and they can, but I'm talking about at this guy's age, at his size, his quickness. Like, I just think he's the best center in the game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I put on the tape, and this dude, he's blocking one dude, then he's pancaking a linebacker. It's like, dude, like, calm down, chill out. Like, no, man, shout out to this offensive line. I think this is one of the least problems that we had, for real. Other than week one, I thought that they was not good. They was not good week one. But I thought that they got it together. And this is one of the least problems that we have is the offensive line. And then you got a quarterback that can run his ass off. So if all hell break loose, he showed you week one, I got this. Just chill. I got this. So I'm not really worried, man. I just hope the big guy does come back because he has a chance to be a Hall of Famer. He got a chance to be a Hall of Famer, man. Like Mount Lotta is something special. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, facts. Real quick, shout out to Young Money with the $2 super chat. He said, "What up, boys? Can we get some tunes with the flowers?" Unfortunately, on OBS is where I got all my little clips and bits of the roots and the flowers. I don't have it on StreamYard. I gotta figure out a way to get that.
I put it in the phone.
Well, yeah, because mind you, I can only play 5 seconds of it, or I'll get demonetized. That's why I only have that exact clip. I would have made it longer. However, shout out to my guy though for sure. And the chat is talking about the Jake Elliott not being there. Now we do got another kicker, Cam D. That's how we going to leave it at that. We got Cam D as the kicker. Is he good? I wanted to look stuff up. I really didn't. Do you think Nick Sirianni will go for more? I mean, he already goes for a lot of 4th downs. Will we see it at a accelerated rate, or who is this kicker?
You want to go real fast, Casey? You want me to go? Because I did do some research on the kid.
Yeah, hold on. Let me address something real quick. Hey, let me tell you something, young man. I'm about to give you the talk your daddy should have gave you. You better mind your manners, little boy. Let me tell you something. You keep bringing my name up like you know something about football. Son, I will bring you on my show and run film. And if you don't know what the hell you're talking about, I will spank your ass like I'm your daddy. So you better mind yourself, bro. We're not going to play these games. You talk a mean game, EC1 football. You talk a mean game. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to bring your stuff on my channel, and we're going to run film. And if you cower and hide from this, everyone's going to know you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because if you don't, I'm going to expose you live.
Who are you talking to?
EC1 football.
Cool.
I'm going to need you to put that novice football, bro. You need to just bump that novice in there, my guy.
Now back to kicker. Back to the kicker.
Once again, do you want me to go or you want to go? Because I did do some research on the kid and whatever.
Oh, Dicker, the dude from the Longhorns. Yeah. I mean, dude seems to have like a decent leg, but I'm not too sure that, like, you know, it's hard to predict the moment. You know what I'm saying, Reese? Like, special teams is really difficult to predict the moment. Yeah. And that's what I don't know. I think you could say, like, one positive is like, you look at, like, going to a school like Texas. That's a serious football school. He's been around big crowds. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could say, like, maybe the moment's not going to be as big for him as it would be for, like, a dude that's coming in from, like, an unrelated sport, if you will. Rugby background, soccer background, where maybe they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they're not.
Player looks like he's going to be a Hall of Famer though.
Yeah, you got a point. You got a point. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of guys that translate from soccer to football.
No, I get what you're saying. But
yeah, like I think it's one of those feel out the situation things.
Here's my thing, and y'all know me. Sometimes my brain travels left. I don't think in the same straight line as everybody else does. I'm thinking he over here more for the kick. Our freaking kicker stinks. I'm talking about our punter. Our punter stinks.
He cannot pin nobody inside the 20, bro.
He stinks. The only reason he's on the team because he's a good placeholder. He stinks. And this kid did. I'm sorry, ice cream man coming through, y'all. But and y'all hear?
Yeah, I heard that.
And this kicker also punted, and he was supposed to be one of the first guys to get drafted to do both, like on the team, and not take up another roster spot. They was talking about, like, I did some research on the kid, and they was talking about him being one of the first guys to be able to play kicker and also be a punter. So to me, did you bring him over there? Yes, probably for the week or whatever the case may be. But did you bring him over here again to get rid of this damn kick? Yo, I do not like our punter, our special teams. And I did a grading. Shout out to everybody that came through on the premiere. I did a quarter grading, like a quarter of the season grading. I'm sorry, I had to get him a D-. Like, special teams been awful. Even my guy, y'all know how I feel about Quez Watkins. He been horrible. What's the other guy name, man? Coven. Like he's been horrible. It's like you're averaging 22 yards on kickoffs. You get 25 yards if you just let it go.
Yeah,
just let it go. Let it go.
I don't even know why.
You're not helping. That's basically what I'm saying. Like, you're just getting practice out there catching the ball. You're not helping the team. So when you look at it, man, this special teams is horrible. But we look past that because we're 4-0. But we gotta definitely make some. They gotta make some decisions, some better decisions on who is going to, be the guys, be the returners, and probably be the punter. I don't know. Probably get rid of him. But he's a good placeholder, so I don't know how y'all feel about that. I just want to express that.
I mean, let's be real, Reese. If the game comes down to like some Philadelphia Eagles shit, to where we need a 45-yarder to seal this thing, I'm gonna be sweating bullets. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, too. I mean, I sweat bullets anyway. No matter who the kicker is, it's like anything can happen during the kick. So you always sweating. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking like you ain't put deodorant on this morning, sweating like it's gonna be crazy. I hope it shouldn't come down to that. Like I said, we're gonna give our score prediction, so we're gonna talk about that. But
real quick, shout out to Drip Flare in the chat. He said, "Where can I see everybody else's channel?" So I popped up the display names. All you got to do is type in Philly Fresh, and his channel will pop up. Gate City Sports, and his channel will pop up. And of course, you could type Philly Mike or the Philly Talk Podcast. Either one will do. Make sure you hit that like button wherever you're watching it. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing, and it really helps us out. We got over 331 people watching. Again, we are live on 3 channels. So whoever's, that's combined 331. But hit the like button and let's keep this thing going. Yeah, like I literally set aside time to go look up some stuff on the kicker. And then I totally forgot. A lot of crazy stuff happened this weekend for me. But as Gates said, hopefully it's not that big of an impact. The Eagles have been good in the red zone. So we've been able to get inside the 20 and finish. Even last week when Dallas Goedert had the offensive pass interference, John, listen, we were first and goal at the 22. That's when you normally set yourself up for that, you might as well just kick it on first down because you're not going to really convert a 1st and 22 in that tight of an area. But we were able to get down here, get the touchdown. Nick Sirianni went for it on 4th. It's hard for me to say that he'll go for it more because he goes for it at already a crazy rate, but it's definitely interesting and something we got to keep our eye on, finishing in the red zone and making sure we don't miss no extra points or anything like that. Do you see him going for 2 a couple times, or Or do I mean, like I said, if the kicker's good, my thing is this though. Why is he available? You know, like he
Jake Elliott was available too, though. Remember when Mitchell
yeah,
was hurt?
Yeah.
you're right.
I mean, stuff happens. It's so much talent in the NFL. So some talent gets underlooked. You know what I mean? Overlooked, should I say? And you're just there. I'm not saying that this kid is the end all be all and he's going to be the savior, but who knows? Maybe for a week or two that he can do his job. I do got the inactives though. If everybody want to hear, I got Jake Elliott, Avonte Maddox, and I'm still not sure on what the heck happened with him. Boston Scott, Patrick Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Janoris Robinson, and Ian Book. I guess that's a healthy scratch, the quarterback.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Avonte Maddox is worrisome because the week he popped up on the injury report on Friday of last week. He didn't play in the Jags game.
I thought it was Saturday. I didn't see him on the injury report till Saturday.
It was one of them days, but the thing was, it was out of nowhere. I think like he practiced, like he was not on the report all week, and then he just popped up. So I'm thinking, okay, it's a little ankle thing, but now going 2 weeks back to back, and you saw early Doug Peterson and the Jacksonville Jaguars try to pick on Josiah Scott. Listen, the game could listen. I still think we would have won, but that Zach McPherson got beat on no, it was Josiah Scott. One of them two got beat on a double move.
It was Josiah Scott, but Mike Epps to me played the wide receiver. Marcus. I always call him Mike Epps. But anyway, Marcus Epps to me, he played the receiver when his job is supposed to play the quarterback's eyes. Mm-hmm. Your quarterback plays the receiver. The safety plays the quarterback eyes. He played the receiver, and he also got double moved. Like, you're not supposed to be double moved when you're 10 yards back. That shouldn't happen on an angle like that. So to me, Joshua Scott definitely got burnt, and I don't know. How tall is that kid? Because he out there, he looked like
he looked like little.
Yeah, he looked like I thought it was Boston Scott. Like, he looked like a midget out there, man. Like, but anyway, he came into his own. He started
settled down.
Yes, he settled down, but he still got beat for that same play on a touchdown. They did score a touchdown on that same play.
On the deep ball?
Yeah. What was that, the third quarter? Remember they scored the touchdown on the third quarter?
I know they scored a touchdown later, yeah.
Yeah, that was the same play. It was the same play.
I know at one point they picked on both of them a little bit, Zach McPherson and Josiah Scott in the game. And that's a little concerning when you got those guys that haven't played a lot because of the fact that these dudes have been healthy. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like it's one of those, like, it's an idealized situation, but when you finally do have an injury, it's like, crap, now we don't really know what these kids are made of. We really haven't had an opportunity to see them play like that. And Josiah Scott had a really bad sequence to where, he really did get kind of burned on one play, and then he followed it up with a missed tackle down in the red zone, which led to their score. I mean, in total, I thought he had an okay game given the circumstances and, like, you know what I mean? Like,
and because Trevor Lawrence did throw that, if that's caught, that changes the complexity. So,
Yeah, that's the hard one, right? Is like trying to figure out like where you place them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough, like how they're going to match them up, how they're going to play them. I would guess that you'll see them do some things to where they'll play either Epps. They're either going to play Epps or they're going to play CGJ off of them. And what you'll see is they'll do those situations to where, like, okay, if the route breaks this way, you got them. If it carries deep this way, I got it. You're going to see some stuff like that. Some of that quarters concept stuff.
Yeah, real quick, shout out to Philly 500 with the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate the comment. He said, "Let's take care of business. Time to go 5-0. Great show, guys." Yeah, real quick, 500 while you're in here. Well, what is your take on the Giants? And let's talk about that real quick. We decided to bring that up early in the stream. Is the Giants for real or the Packers for fake? Real quick, what is y'all take on the Packers? The Giants being 4-1 in this early season.
Man, F the Giants and Philly 500 know why. We in the fantasy league chatting. We going to war with them. Fist talking all crazy. And no. He talking about like our wins don't count because we are the best team in the NFC East. We are the best team in the NFC. So I'm not trying to hear none of that. But I mean, I'm not a hater, so they beat one of the best throwers of the football. I get it, I understand it. But he is coming to a situation to where as though who was he throwing to? Like literally, who was he throwing to? And that's why I said I think that maybe they make a move. I think that they have to. Like, they're not going to do anything in the playoffs if they don't make a move for wide receiver. They got to make a splash move. Like, and I don't even know what you can do. You know what I mean? So when you look at it, yes, they beat the Titans and they caught that a big win. Who did they lose? Oh, our best wide receiver right now. Yeah. And then you talk about the Green Bay, but Green Bay has not looked the same since Devontae Parker. Ain't been there. Like, so when you look at everything that's going on, I'm actually happy because you can't call this the NFC East anymore. You can't. You got two teams that are like they're winning. Only got one win between two of the teams, and Dallas also only has one win
until they play the Rams tonight.
Exactly. That's why
they better take care of business for us.
Yeah, they better. I hope they lose. Anyway, so when you look at it, that's cool and all, but you still got to come see the Kings. You still got to come see us. Yeah. And we'll see. We're going to smoke them, man. Yo, we're going to do the thing to Daniel Jones, man. You bet. What? Better hope everybody. If everybody healthy, man, that's a done.
Yeah, and they've been winning games, pretty much from their defense and Saquon Barkley. But Philly 500
we shut Saquon Barkley down. Like, he'll have one long play, a 75-yard touchdown, and it makes his numbers look crazy. But other than that, it's 2 yards, 3 yards a carry. Like, we've really for years been shutting him down. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and 500 said pretty much the same thing. The Giants had a great win, but he don't think that the Packers are as good as they were in the past years. The Packers are a descending team. Good win for the Giants, but they haven't beat an explosive offense, and that's where it's going to come to play with the lack of wide receivers and how good is Daniel Jones when they play teams that they got to score 20, in the 30s. How are they going to do that? And we don't play the Giants to the end of the season, kind of. So, we'll really know who they are before we match up with them. And hopefully we're winning at such an alarming rate. That last game against the Giants, I think it's the very last game of the season. We pull our starters. You know what I mean? I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We got to stay healthy. Health is the end all be all for most teams out here. Like we talked about, Josiah Scott probably going to play again today. Who really works the slot for Arizona? What's his name? Who's your slot receiver? I know I was talking about him earlier in this week. Forgot his name. He's a young boy. Gate?
Yeah, they got Greg Dortch and then they got Rondell Moore. Or their two slot guys for the Cardinals.
And Rondell Moore, who was just drafted last year?
Yeah, I think last year, yeah. Good player, but always injured. That was his knocking college too. I mean, crazy productive, but he missed a lot of time in college at Purdue. So, I mean, it kind of stinks for them because they can't really get enough talent on the field, I think, to compete with certain offenses. I think that's really been their problem, to be honest. The Giants are an interesting one though, Mike. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, they're well coached. That's the only thing I can really say about them is they're very well coached. And I agree with I can't remember who it was, guys. I apologize. I don't remember who said it, but somebody said in the comment section, 500 said they're not really the same. That's not really the same Packers team as the past. I agree. And then someone else basically said in the comment section, they're not really that great at wide receiver, the Packers. And I agree with that statement too. But neither are the Giants, and the Giants don't have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
True.
So, I mean, you know what I mean? That's really a function of their coaching. Like, they're a very well coached team, and that's a team that right now they're 4-1, Mike. I mean, they got an outside shot of being a playoff team. We might be looking at 3 teams from the East in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the switch that has just happened of the NFC least to the NFC beast is crazy. And look, kudos to them. Still, I want our division to be better, just respected. But I don't like any of them teams, and I hope they both lose. Shout out to Philly 500 with the $5 super chat again. He said Eagles are the most disrespected 4-0 team that he can remember. And I agree. There are a couple power rankers that came out this week that had us at 1, but for being undefeated, every other team that was 4-0, 5-0 at this point in a season gets all the flowers. And constantly I hear people talking about our schedule and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Again, two of our victories came from division leaders in the Vikings and the Jaguars. And we talked about this before we played the Jaguars. The Jaguars are coming off a 62-10 combined score against the Colts and the Chargers. Yeah, maybe they were banged up too, but that is just what it is, right? 62-10, no matter who you are in the NFL, is not easy to do. And then the Vikings' only loss came from the Eagles. So the Vikings are still looking to be, and the Vikings, last I saw, they were winning like 27-7. They were blowing out the team they played before we got on here. So I don't want to hear all that crazy stuff. And the one person that and my thing is this: if you don't think the Eagles are a Super Bowl team, like an analyst named Colin Cowherd, you could say we're not a Super Bowl team. But when you start really saying stuff that is bold-faced lies, like the Eagles got a couple breaks with weather. We played one bad weather game. He called us a running team. We're top 5 in passing. Like, you can't say things that are lies. Like, say that you don't believe we're a Super Bowl team. Cool, that's your opinion. But to come out here and be like, they got lucky with a couple weather games, they definitely still can't pass the ball. They're a running team. Bro, our quarterback is 5th. Our wide receiver is 3rd. We can't pass the ball. Like, all you got to do is just type in Eagles on Google before you speak. Just don't lie. Straight up lie.
That's how you know them dudes don't be knowing what they be talking about. First of all, they got too much to cover. They got too much to cover. You know what I mean? Like, we focus on what we focus on. We focus on a couple teams. You know what I mean? A couple teams that we're facing, teams in the division, yada yada yada. So we know what we talk. That's why we better than them, man.
Don't worry, we'll be on the segment where Colin was wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be first up where Colin was right. Whatever, where Colin was wrong. The Eagles. It's coming, guys.
Well, and it's tough because you never know how good a team is early on in the season. Like that's the thing that always bothers me about when they start saying well, your schedule's easy. Like, we really don't know who's good and who's bad right now. Because let's be honest. I would say that if you looked at the NFC North, to me, clearly Minnesota is the best team in the NFC North.
Yes.
But I got questions. I do got questions about them. Like, when you look at it right now, they letting the Bears come back. It's 27-22 now.
What?
You know what I mean?
29-22, yeah.
Yeah, 29-22, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you do have questions with these teams. Like, if Green Bay, like, their defense is still legit. Like, I look at it. You know what I mean? I'm not sure exactly how the Giants put up 27 points, but they put up 27 points on that defense. But when you look at it, it's probably a lot of 3-and-outs. And that defense being on the field a lot, that's going to kill any defense.
Yeah, I look at their schedule though, Reese, and I think they got an easy 5 to 6 wins in their division. So I look at Minnesota and I say that's likely a playoff team. You know what I mean? It's likely going to be a playoff team. Now, I will say this, Reese, and I know you're probably going, hey, Gate, pump the brakes a little bit, because Minnesota's been known, like Dallas, to really, really miss it come December, melt down in December.
Yeah, and not only that, their division, they can absolutely lose this game, or probably not. I don't know how much time is left, but anyway, they can lose this game. And then the Lions really not. They that's another team that I don't know who they are. You know what I mean? Like, they'll come into a game competitive one game, and then the next game is like, where's all that biting off their legs and all that? Where's that at? You know what I mean? Like,
wow, the Patriots are beating the Lions 29-0.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They're taking the Lions apart.
Thank you, Mike. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, but it's something that we haven't done all year, and before we do our which ones we usually, Mike, you do this, we ask everybody where they from and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, where you checking in at?
Yeah. Let us know real quick right now. Where you checking in from? Your Eagle fandom is located where right now? Let us know in the chat.
What do you guys think is tier 1 right now in the NFC? Who are the 3 or 4 best teams right now? Because to me, I still think that we don't know. I still think we don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's up there.
Outside the Eagles, we really don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's up there because when you look at the Rams, you don't know what they're going to bring. Their offensive line is freaking horrible. It's hard. Like, he's on a pace to get sacked more than Andrew Luck. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. He's on a pace to get sacked 65 times, bro. 65
That's horrible. He's gonna get broke down.
That's retirement. I already won a Super Bowl. They y'all get me sacked 65 times. I'm out of here. I'm done. Like, that's what that is. But they still have a good defense. Like, they have a hell of a – like, it's a lot of good defenses in the NFC, man. It is. So, yeah.
I still think the Bucks will find a way. As long as Tom Brady's there, they'll find a way.
They're not going to find
at the end of the season.
Here's what's going to put what's called over the top. If Odell Beckham comes back healthy and plays for the Rams,
what if he goes back to the Giants?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be crazy.
We just talked about and I saw a report.
But I don't think that they're going to be good. I don't think that they're going to be good by the time it's time for them to come back.
Yeah.
No, I gotta look at this. I gotta look
watching closely next week because they play the Ravens. They play Ravens, and listen, if they knock off the Packers and somehow knock off the Ravens, then we might have to start taking the Giants seriously, for real. That's going to be really interesting. Got to, because this is where I had us separating from the NFC. I had Dallas losing to the Rams and Dallas losing to the Eagles next week, and I had the Giants losing to the Packers and the Ravens, and so I thought we were going to separate ourselves before the bye. Had the Giants with 3 losses, the Cowboys with 3 losses, and us still undefeated. Or maybe I don't know if we one loss or whatever. But so far, barring what the Rams do, the NFC staying tall.
The trade deadline could be an interesting thing for the NFC. It could be a real interesting thing for the NFC, the trade deadline, because right now it does feel like it's Philly and everybody else, and there's a couple like. San Francisco's up and down. I don't think there's a lot of consistency there, even though I think their defense is really good. The Giants have pretty much answered the call except for minus that Dallas game. Dallas has got a really good defense. Minnesota, we just talked about. I mean, none of us really know what they are yet. I mean, it's hard to predict what they are. Green Bay, I think, if Green Bay could – someone was talking about OBJ. And I saw someone comment and say Green Bay. That's the one that makes sense to me, too.
Yeah, I've seen that, too.
OBJ with Aaron Rodgers, and I think Green Bay becomes a little different team. But
I mean, just give them. I said make a splash, and I didn't know who that splash. You know what? Yeah, you're right. If they can find a way to get him, yeah, and I think that's really the only way that they're going to be a top tier. But is it going to be too late? You get what I'm saying? Like when you look at our schedule, man, we really got a chance to go into the bye undefeated.
We really do.
We got a chance to go to the bye undefeated. So is it going to be too late? Because now you're a wild card. You know what I mean? Now you got to come. Now you got to either go. Well, hopefully we get the top seed, so we ain't got to worry about that. But now you got to go to one of these other teams. It might be the Rams. You know what I mean? It might be one of those hot teams that got hot at the end, because it's still going to be one. It's still going to be one of those teams that heats up at the end of the year, and you just like, damn, we ain't see that coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look at the Falcons right now. The Falcons are pushing the Bucks.
The Bucks are not that good.
Yeah, you're right. They don't look that good.
Everybody just says that because it's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady. Tom Brady don't got really nobody to throw to. I mean, he lost three wide receivers last week. Michael Evans trying to save Tom Brady's life out there. He gets kicked. Like, it's just like they're not the same. They haven't been the same.
I agree. And right now, I would say the Eagles are one of the better teams in the NFC. I will always watch what the Packers do. Towards the end of the season, because they got Aaron Rodgers. The trade deadline could be something they look at. I think the Niners, they're winning games and they're not healthy. They'll get healthy at the end of the season too. So I think the Niners are still a team we got to be worried about. And who knows? I mean, we were about to see if the Giants are real.
You got Washington about to probably got a chance to beat the Titans right now. Like, they driving them for a game-winning drive. Like, so I mean.
It's kind of crazy because it's such a the Eagles have done so well and we've dominated every team we've been in front of that. Like, when you go look at the rest of the NFL, it's like, man, it's a lot of up and down going on here. Like, one week, one team kind of looks like, the Rams are starting to kind of get their footing again. Then it's like, maybe not.
But that's why I call us the best team in football. because we haven't had no damn. We had one quarter of well, really two. You want to say the beginning of the Lions game, yeah, and then the beginning of Jacksonville game, yeah. But we only had 2 quarters. That's one half of a football game that we've been down. We've been up every other point. We've been up. So when you look at what's going on around the NFL, the NFC, and the AFC, you gotta say this team has been a dominant team. Period. No matter who you play, because you can go this week. I mean, this year is showing any given Sunday. If it's anything we can say about this year so far, it's any given Sunday. Dudes are taking losses, man.
Yeah.
Dudes are taking losses.
The Chiefs lost to the Colts. The Colts' first win, I guess, was against the Chiefs. So it's definitely a week by week season, a game, a league, whatever you want to call it. But with that being said, we getting close.
How he snatched the football from you?
So
like
it's
that?
time to do our offense and defensive player of the game and score prediction. Chat, let us know your take on who's going to stand out in the offense and the defense. A lot of us don't say Jalen Hurts because that's a given. We'll do that, and then we'll get up out of here. Listen,
that's a cheat code. That's a cheat code.
That's a cheat code. He's playing like a cheat code, to be honest. Hit that like button wherever you're watching. We got over 369 people live watching with us. Again, we are live on 3 channels: Philly Mike and the Philly Talk Podcast, Philly Fresh, Gate City Sports. Hit the like wherever you're watching it. Shout out to Sydney family with the $2 donation. So many points of attack, and the defense is stinging. Listen again. We can win. We need to win by running. We could do it. We need to win by throwing. We could do it. We need to win by playing lockdown defense. We can do it. Heck, you need your quarterback to run. We could do it. We've won many different ways throughout this season already. Every win was different. We beat a blitzing man defense in the Lions with Jalen's legs. We beat the Vikings zone defense with Jalen's arm. We beat Washington with domination up front, sacks, and then we beat Jaguars by running them down with 200 yards. Every win, we open up a new superpower.
We beat Washington by unveiling our secret weapon, Carson Wentz.
Y'all ain't right. Hey, Carson Wentz, he got a chance to. Wait, did they just go for it?
He might throw. Just kidding. Let me stop. All right.
Yo, did y'all just see the play with the ball? The ball from the Vikings just took the ball out the ball from the Bears' hands like that. Like he was running. He was running, getting the first down. Ball just snapped. Like, give me what? How you let him steal your lunch money like that? Go ahead, Charles. Yo, when y'all see that play, y'all gonna be like, yo, what?
Definitely. What, in the Bears game?
Yeah.
Right,
they was going down about to score. Like it was like a minute. Wow. It's like 2 minutes left. It just
so go ahead. Who wants to start with the offensive defensive player?
I'll go offense first.
All right.
Well, I'll go first.
Yeah, I'm about to say yeah.
I said Miles Sanders last week. Whew, I got that one. That was an easy. That was an easy pick because we were in the rain. That was an easy one because we were in the rain. I'm not going to do that one again this week because I don't think it's the right week for it. But I'll tell you who I think might go off, and I haven't picked him so far because I went with Devontae Smith for like 3 straight weeks until he finally proved me right. But I think this is an A.J. Brown game. I think this is a game where you could see them try to stack the box, to try to shut Jalen down, try to shut the running game down. I think you could see someone like A.J. Brown just absolutely go off against that secondary one-on-one. Defensively. Defensively. I don't think I picked anyone on the line yet this season. Let me see. Defensively. You know what? We've had last couple of weeks, man, Hassan Reddick has really come on. Mm-hmm. But I'm waiting to see the splat. Now, Josh Sweat had a secret good game last week. I mean, dude was all over the field in the run game, man. He was really standing out.
And he dropped him in a couple times. I ain't like that.
Yeah. I want to Josh Sweat, man. I think this is the week where we can see Josh Sweat be kind of impactful as a pass rusher.
You got to continue.
All right, score prediction.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to predict this to be a pretty solid win. But I think it's going to be one of those situations to where it'll be tight for a little bit, and then we're just going to pull away. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to say 34-20 Philly.
Whew. Yo, they're the games where I'm sitting back like
this. That's a blowout, Mike. As long as we up 2 possessions, I'm like this. I'm chilling. Yeah. I'm chilling. Like, but all right. So I'll go next. Dang, you took my AJ Brown, man. I just think that this, like, when you look now, when you look at it, and I said this, I did like a little live. And shout out to everybody. Yes, it is a free giveaway. Make sure y'all go check it out. On my page, another free giveaway. I do it every single Friday. Shout out to y'all for commenting, man. All right. So what I want to say is AJ Brown last week was so dominant. They couldn't do nothing with him. Like, y'all know I don't tweet. I'm tweeting. Yo, just give him the ball. Like, they could not stop him. And I think he's a one-on-one nightmare for this kind of defense, too. The way that they play, they like to play man, and they like to have Buda Breaker just scramble the field and do his thing. But you can't do that with AJ. He's too physical of a specimen. So I like that pick. You stole it from me. But I'm gonna go on the other side. I'm gonna go with Devontae, man. I'm gonna go with Devontae. Footwork is immaculate. He still finds a way to get open. Was mic'd up last week. I liked a lot of things that he said. You heard some Phillies. You heard yeah. Where y'all can get these jewels from?
Yo, but the chat won't let me wear it though, because when I was wearing it, we were down 14. I took it off. We won, so I'm banned. I can't wear it no more.
You got to get the Eagles joint on the joint though. Like, you got to get somebody to paint the joint on there.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
they go in the spirit of Halloween, trying to fight people to get the mask.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Devontae Smith. I'm gonna go with the Slim Reaper, man. I think he comes out here. He has a solid game, nothing crazy, but I think when we get in the red zone, he has 2 touchdowns. Footwork just crazy, and it's really nothing that they can do with him for real. All right, defense. I gotta go Hassan Reddick. Yes, it's an easy pick. I get it, I understand it. But not the only reason, but one of the main
reasons. Pick Hassan Reddick?
No, I picked Josh.
No. He picked Josh
yeah. He picked the opposite side.
He said something about that.
Yeah,
I thought
talked about him.
I'm like, that's why if you ain't noticed, I crossed my arms like, yo, he about to steal both my picks. Like, no, we gonna have to rumble Gates. But in all seriousness, no. When you look at it, a lot of people talk about Zach Ertz, right, facing his old team. This is Hassan Reddick's old team.
Yep.
And I think he gets revenge. I just think like he's on a tear right now, and he's talking heavy. He's literally talking heavy. Like, he was the guy that said no when it was 14-0. Y'all, nobody said nothing about the weather. Now that we come out here, now you want to say something. But now that we come and we dominate, and they start fumbling, and they I ain't trying to hear that. So I think he got a chip on the shoulder, just because of them not paying him, number one, and number two, y'all trying to downplay my best game. That's his best game of the year, and y'all trying to downplay that. I'm gonna show y'all something. So I got my guy Hassan Reddick. Go ahead, y'all.
Score prediction, real quick.
Ooh, score prediction. I got it 27-14. Man, give me that dub.
I like it. Real quick, Philly 500 said this is the Quez Watkins game. I would love to see a deep ball. And Casco said Mike and 500 took their mask off almost at the exact same time. Listen, I'm superstitious. When I watch the game down, like I've been doing live play-by-plays now, but when I watch by myself, if I'm doing something and we're winning, I got to keep it going. So like I took the mask off and we came back and won. Listen, I'm with the chat. I'm not allowed to wear it. You know what I mean?
So why you even got it there? I'm trying to figure out why you got it. What are you doing?
I've had this hat on every single pregame, and I got a matching cap for my throwback, but I can't put it on because I can't mess around. I can't mess around and change it. Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go.
I guess my chain. I wear my chain every pre-sheet.
Hey, I'm gonna go on offense with. I'm gonna have to sign Dallas Goedert. You know, he's been making some plays. He leads all tight ends in yak. I mean, he has like 13 yards on average of yak.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what he got, Mike. He has 243 yards. 204 of them are yak. Think about that.
We be killing him with listen. I used to not like the Dallas Goedert screens, but now every screen he takes for 10 plus. So I think Dallas Goedert is going to have a big game. What was cool about the season so far, it was week 1, it was AJ Brown. Week 2 was Goddard. Week 3, it was Smitty. So each week there was a different leader. Pass catcher, I got Dallas Goddard for this game on offense. And then when we go to the defensive side of the ball, it's tough, man. Big Play Slay did not play last week. He's back. The forearm should be feeling all right. I'm going to go with Big Play Slay with a big time play. Give me a pick for Slay. That's what I got. I got Dallas Goddard on offense. I got Big Play Slay on defense. I wanted to go bald Batman, but I'm gonna give it this Slay. Score prediction. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think the Eagles get in the 30s. I'm gonna go 33 to 21. 33-21. That's what I got it.
Okay.
I don't want them to come out like we did against the Jags.
Eagle 101. He rated what you said 33-13. That's around the same.
I'll take that. I'll take that one better. Shout out to Sydney family with the $2 donation. He said, watching the reserve O lineman with confidence. Man, look, Driscoll got it. He's gonna if he gets matched up with JJ Watt, Driscoll's gonna he's gonna have to play for sure.
Oh my gosh.
But when I look at this game, I think 33-21 sounds great. I would like to beat him by a lot more. The Cardinals are the only team in the NFL that has not scored any points in the first quarter.
And they only scored 7 points in the first half.
Dang. But to be scoreless in 4 first quarters is not good. Don't let them break it on you. And now what the Eagles are partnered with Wendy's. So I get what I think it is. If the Eagles partner with Wendy's, I don't know if it's the first half or the first quarter, but if the defense does not allow a team to score any points in the first quarter or the first half, somebody in the chat correct me which one it is, you can get a free Frosty. So just like the Wells Fargo Center, if the opposing team misses both free throws, you get a Frosty. Now, if they're scoreless in the first quarter or the first half, I don't know which one it was, you can go to Wendy's and get a free Frosty from the Eagles.
I don't eat chocolate.
I don't really eat the Frosty.
I don't want to end this on this, but I do need Gates' opinion on this. Everybody was clamoring, not everybody, but a lot of people was clamoring. They banging their fists. They running Russell Wilson.
Oh man,
they wanted him. I mean, you know how many people commented and how many videos is made? Go get him.
I got him in my fantasy league.
How that man been looking? What's going on? Gates, talk to me. Let me know, because I need to know what's going on.
See, I gotta be careful, man. You know I'm an NC State guy. I've met Russ.
I know before. That's why I'm asking.
I met Russ before. He's a nice dude, but I gotta be honest with you to begin with, man. When it comes to the locker room stuff, sometimes it's not that you're religious, but when you're overtly religious, sometimes that can rub people the wrong way. You know what I mean? You got to be a little careful, and you got to walk a line when it comes to that stuff, right? I will say that he's got kind of this entourage that encircles him, Reese. That's it's a little weird. It's a little odd, to be quite honest. To be real, they're a little weird. He's a great player, though, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, Reese. I've watched this guy since. I remember. Listen. I remember when this young man got into a football game against Tennessee, his freshman season at NC State, and he ended up getting injured in the game. But you could just tell the minute he walked on the field, it was like, okay, like this is different. Like I know this isn't some big time recruit. This isn't like, you know what I mean? Like the dude barely looks like a quarterback. I mean, they say he's 5'11" or something like that.
I get all that, but what's happening?
Bro, I met him. I'm calling BS on that.
but what's happening now? Like when you he's throwing the ball so inconsistently.
Yeah.
He's
not seeing the field.
Reads. He's just throwing the ball up. He's not protecting the football. He's not scrambling when he should be. It's just like I'm looking at a quarterback who was one of the best 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and then it's just like, and it's not a new team, y'all. I get it. He was like that he was on a decline last year. Like it wasn't like when the Seahawks got rid of him, he was at the top. He was on a decline,
and he still got traded for all that money.
All right, look, the bush I'm beating around here, Reese, is that there is a persona there is a belief in I'm right. It broke up the Legion of Boom. It broke up Pete Carroll.
It did.
He got his wish. He got moved. He's in Denver. Everyone felt that team was one piece away, and it happened to be the signal caller. Ego. It's a bit of an ego thing with him, and I really like Russ.
So it's kind of like,
I'm not trying to Simone and I got to walk a fine line, man, because we're NC State alums. We got to walk a fine line here.
I get you. That's how I am with Miles Sanders. That's my alumni. You know what I mean? I get it. I understand it. So it's just kind of and it seems worse, like a Carson Wentz type of thing. Like a lot of people were saying, like,
I don't know if it's that bad, but to be fair, I get your point, Reese, is that, Carson was one of these guys that was kind of what we probably say was a little bit overtly religious. And there's nothing wrong with that. Most dudes in a locker room are religious. Let's just be real. Most dudes are. Not everybody is, but most of them are. But I think it's like, it's hard to explain. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can have a lot in common with somebody. You can have the same belief system, but it's just the way that they present themselves that just kind of like messes it up. And I think that kind of happened with Carson, to where maybe he was kind of like excluding people, inside the locker room. People felt not necessarily that he was excluded, but they felt excluded. And I don't know if that's the same thing that's happening fresh with Russ, man. It's hard to say, but I mean, the dude's got a big personality. You saw the dude pulled up in the training camp and the truck he pulled up in, bro. I mean, that had Raleigh written all over.
A lot of people blame the Sierra for this. I don't believe that. A lot of people blame the Sierra, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but like the personality, like there's something there with the personality with him. It's hard to put. Like I said, I've met him a few times. He was always nice to me in interactions. I never had to be in a locker room with him as a teammate, though. So I don't know how that dynamic is. But I mean, do you feel like something's off
with his game? Hell yeah.
Like just beyond the game, just like, the team's not connecting.
And the one thing was, the most important thing was, and I know it's only his second year. Shout out to KJ Hamler. Y'all know Penn State guy. I'm a Penn State guy. So this came up on my timeline because of me being a Penn State guy. And when he slammed his helmet and was screaming and shot, like, a second year wide receiver doesn't do that to a guy who
of his caliber.
It's still he's not now a superstar. He's still a superstar in the league. He's not playing like that. Yeah, but he's still a superstar. That doesn't happen.
It is only 4 games, though, so he does have time to dig himself out. But it is alarming, and I love the bet. The Bet MG, I think it was, or Bet Online, whatever. You saw what I retweeted on Twitter. He's like, Bronco Country, let's ride, and it said let Russ cook, and everything's just burning down. People are
I did see that.
But Mike, isn't that it though? Because even at NC State, I feel like Russ has always felt slighted. At NC State, he was the man, but then he went out and got a high 4-star, almost 5-star recruit, Mike Lennon, who has been booty trash in the NFL. Like Mike Lennon has been bad in the NFL. But, they had this high, profile quarterback coming into NC State. Russ was this dude coming out of Richmond, Virginia. No one really knew about him. He was really a baseball recruit. And he was like, I want to play both sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Russ has always felt slighted. He felt slighted by NC State when he went off to go have a professional baseball career, then said, you know what, I want to play. And then they were like, yo, you got to pack up, bro. You got to kick rocks. You can't come back to the team. So he went off to Wisconsin. Then he gets in the NFL, wins a Super Bowl.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? He still isn't the guy in Seattle. Even after that, I feel like he's always felt slighted.
Not even my fantasy. It's not funny, Mike.
Listen, low key. When Russ started playing bad, I picked up Carson Wentz too. Yeah. But I didn't put Carson Wentz in today. So Russ got me a solid.
You can't put him in because Russell played.
Yeah. He only got me 9 points.
You can't put him in.
But guess what though? On that same team, I got Gabriel Davis, who got like a 35 plus, so I'm cool. Real quick, shout out to Sydney family with the $5 banger. He said Ryan and Wilson struggling with new teams, so maybe Watson will too. We'll definitely have to see how all that transpires. But listen, I will be going live in about 5 minutes. I'll be live to do the play-by-play. If you want to come through, hang out with your boy, I'll be live at 4:15.
And go ahead.
I appreciate all you guys. Go ahead, say your last thing before we get out of here.
No, I'm just saying I will be live at halftime. I don't do the play-by-play like Mike. I be y'all gonna hate me. I'm gonna be off the screen half of the damn time. So I can't do that. That's Mike thing. But at halftime, we definitely can bust it up, and we're gonna talk about what we seen at the half, y'all. Yo that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Until next, you got anything you want to say, Gate, before we get up out of here in like 30 seconds?
Yeah. Hey, let's go get the W, 5-0. I don't care if it's 21-20. I don't care if it's 99-3. Just give me the W. That's all I care about. Just give me the W.
That's right.
I'm with it. Until next time, which is in 5 minutes, I'll see y'all. We out. Peace.